Hey everyone, and welcome to YarnGasm. I'm Kristen, and this is episode 122. It is Thursday, November 13th, 2014, and yeah, welcome back if you are a returning viewer, and if you are a new viewer, welcome to the show. This is a knitting, spinning, and hand-dyeing podcast, in case you were curious and you just popped in and have no idea what you're watching right now. So anyway, so let's get into it. I have updates. Well, first of all, I am coming in on the closing of the third week of having gone full-time with my yarn dyeing business. So yay, still going strong. It's awesome, excellent. All good news. So, but yeah, updates. Speaking of which, as I mentioned on the last episode, I was invited back to Gauge Intention, which is a pop-up shop here in my neighborhood in Greenpoint, Brooklyn, which is started by Michelle Wang, who designs a lot of the patterns for Brooklyn tweed. She kindly invited me back to sell more yarn and fiber this time. I will actually be debuting my hand-dyed fiber this time around. So I will be there both days, November 15th and November 16th, Saturday and Sunday. So stop by, say hello, spin a little, knit a little, and maybe buy some fiber. I don't know. But that said, I'm very excited. So, and big thanks to Michelle for inviting me back. But yeah, the pop-up shop, it's every weekend on 110 Meserole Avenue. I will post a link in the show notes, like I do. And it's every weekend up until the last week in December before Christmas. So if you can get around to coming, stop by. Because it really is a cute little store, and she's got lots of amazing fiber and yarn, hedgehog fibers, Brooklyn tweed, Quince & Co., to name a few, but she's got a lot of indie dyers as well. So yeah, that's it for pretty much updates. That's blah, blah, blah. I can't talk today again, guys. But that's pretty much it for updates. So FOs, I have a finished, it's nothing. It was a little side project that I did yesterday. What did I do with it? Because I have show notes. So, as you know, I'm a huge fan of a Homespun House podcast hosted by Molly, and she, after watching her show, she's been knitting tiny birds. She calls them birds of happiness, as the pattern is called, and I just fell in love with them. And I was looking for a cute little side project, and I was watching her episode, her most recent episode yesterday, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to cast one on and watch her show, and just for the fun of it, make one, and I did. Yay! So this is, if you can count this as a FO. The pattern is, let me see if we can get that to focus. It is called Bluebird of Happiness by Sarah Elizabeth Kellner, and it's a free pattern, and these make really adorable, just little quick knits. I don't know, my idea for this is just kind of, gifting again, my delusions of grandeur that I'm going to knit everybody a holiday gift, but this is totally doable. Just like little tiny holiday ornaments, just to gift people, and they're hand knit. And as you can see, I used leftover yarn for my Outlander colorway on my Blitz base, so it sparkles. And I was thinking of just adding like a little string with like a shiny bead or something, and just putting it on the Christmas tree. It's so cute, and it took me maybe like 45 minutes to knit, probably because I was watching her podcast, and because it's my first one, I was a little fiddly because you knit the body, you knit the tail and the body first, and then you pick up the stitches for the head, and then you stuff it through the tail, and then you sew it up, and they're so cute. So yeah, I will post a link to that in the show notes, but you can stuff them with, I think Molly's been stuffing them with like lavender. You can even knit these for your cat, stuff it with a little catnip, or she's also been stuffing them with yarn remnants from all of her friends, just as a little cute reminder. I think they're really cute. Anyway, I will definitely be knitting more of these. And I find lately I've been knitting a lot of modular things. I just find that, because they're such instant gratification, between the hexapuffs, the granny squares, and these, I guess the idea that, they knit up so quick, and the more you collect them, they become one giant thing in the long run. So yeah, I'm having fun knitting those, So yay! Bird of Happiness, one down. How many more to go? I don't know. But anyway, that's pretty much what I have. Oh, I have a hoe, if you will. Last week I did I show it off on the episode? I don't know. I think the yarn was still drying for my shop update. But anyway, I came out with a new colorway called Enjoy the Silence. It's kind of like in the same spirit as, I don't think I have a skein ready because they sold out. And some are drying right now. But it's like in the same spirit of Outlander. It's got that speckled, weird combination of colors. But I couldn't resist casting on a skein because it was kind of languishing in my stash. Like all the glitter, the Blitz base, the Lush base, MCN all sold out, and then I have like a new base called Squish, which is 100% superwash merino, and it's really soft. And I couldn't resist casting on a pair of mittens because my hands were cold. Last week I was outside riding my bike, and I'm just like, I wish I had a pair of mittens, but it wasn't cold enough where it's like because I have like thick, Malabrigo worsted mittens that, it would be just crazy to wear in such weather. But anyway, I figured this was perfect, and I cast on a pair of fingering weight mittens. Yay! So this is one, and the pattern is, it's a modified mittens to fit, which I'll post a link to in the show notes. I forgot it's a free pattern, by the way. So they're perfect. It's perfect for sock yarn. And you just cast on as many, because originally I was casting on a pair of socks with these. I'm like, no, the colorway is too pretty to knit socks with. And I was like, I'm just going to turn it into mittens because I wanted to knit myself a pair anyway. So anyway, these became mittens. So I cast on 64 stitches, knit the cuff, and then added a thumb gusset. So anyway, let me show. There you go. And I modified it because the pattern calls to, a basic sock toe decrease, and then you Kitchener the top, but I kind of like the rounded, I just divided the stitches, 64 stitches by 8, and decreased at 8 points all around. So it has like this nice little pinwheel effect at the top. And then there's the thumb. So the only thing, I have to pull the thumb out and knit it a little bit longer because I think I decreased a little too early. But yeah, the same idea. I just divided it up into, forgot how many stitches were on. I think like 22. And then I decreased too early. But yeah, I really love this colorway. It's so, I don't know. It's got like flecks of teal or cyan in there, and then just like all these shades of lavender and purple. Totally me, right? Anyway, so there's one, and then I cast on, these knit up really fast. So, if you don't want to invest all the time to knit a sock, these are great Christmas presents or holiday presents. So here I am on the second one. I'm just about ready to start decreasing for the fingers. And yeah, so you knit the gussets, you just kind of increase at the base, and once you have, I believe it's like 21 stitches in between, you just put it on the stitches on scrap yarn, and then add one more stitch and knit all the way up. So anyway, great pattern. I will post a link to it in the show notes, like I mentioned. And I have a lot more yarn left. I will have a lot more yarn left over, so I may just end up knitting another pair of socks or another pair of mittens and gift them to somebody for the holidays. So I'm really liking this, and yeah, I'm using my Chiaogu US 1.5s. What is that in millimeters? I don't know offhand. Usually they write this stuff on there, but they don't on these. So I will, again, let you know. So yeah, that is on the needles right now. I'm still knitting on Dennis's cardigan. I have not had any time this week. I've been a dying mad woman the whole week because I'm dying for the trunk show. I'm dying for fiber. I'm dying shop update stuff. And then I am doing a collaboration with Laura from Jinx Yarns, which I will talk about later. But yeah, it's been nonstop. I basically only had the mental aptitude. not the mental aptitude. I was only able to focus on like little autopilot projects today, catching little breaks where I could. Not to say that Dennis's cardigan is not an autopilot project, it's just I was craving color, and brown just wasn't cutting it for me. I don't know. I'm considering it part of the Grinch along because I know the Knit More Girls, they are doing a Grinch along, which is just selfish knitting. Cast all of your holiday knitting aside and just knit for yourself. So this is my Grinch along, if you will. part of my Grinch along, I guess. But anyway, I am actually donating a skein as a prize, giveaway prize for the Grinch along. So definitely check out their podcast, and maybe you'll win a lovely skein of Voolenvine yarns. What else? I'm digressing a lot this episode, guys. Okay, so that's what's on and off the needles. Spinning. Yeah, I did not put a dent in my quarry fiber that I have been spinning away on my Lenderum these days, so that's kind of been sitting on the back burner for now. But I did learn a new spinning skill that I am super excited to tell you about. If you are familiar with drop spindling, there's a technique called plying on the fly. Normally when you spin on a drop spin, or when you drop spin, you spin up a whole bunch of singles until your cop is full or fat, however you want to describe that. Then you wind them onto a lazy Kate, and then you grab whatever singles that you have, you ply them together. There are so many different ways to do it, but for me, the idea of plying on the fly was very enticing, because I think for me, I don't want to have... Drop spindling is just pleasure spinning. I just want to take a little bump of fiber and have at it, on my drop spindle. This is my new favorite drop spindle, my Golding. And I believe it's about like under an ounce, which is it spins very light. So a lot of lace weight to fingering weight. And, when I think for me, what am I going to do with all these little bumps of fiber that I spin up? Why not knit a bunch of hexapuffs or like mitered squares? Because, again, I'm into this whole kind of like modular knitting thing, just knitting up a whole bunch of mini things to add up to one big thing, which is awesome. So I think if I could ply on the fly, I could just pull it off, soak it, and then knit up with it immediately. So I first heard about it through Kim from Craft Stash. I watched it. She had an episode where she showed how to ply on the fly a while ago. It wasn't so much a tutorial, but, just her plying on the fly. And I was like, hey, that's not a bad idea. So I looked up a couple of tutorials on YouTube. There aren't many, but I know there are some in magazines and what have you. But the one tutorial that I did find that was very helpful, I will post a link to it in the show notes. And I was also considering just doing my own tutorial, just because. And I am by no means a Judith Mackenzie or Abby... I'm totally butchering her last name, Aquafremont. But, if it's just a fun little skill that I can share of, how I do it, then yeah, why not? So if you can see here, yeah, this is all plied on the fly. So once I'm done spinning this, I can just unwind it, soak it, and then knit it up. And I'm not sure where I got this fiber from. It is a bump of fiber a bonus bump that I got from some order a long time ago, but it's really pretty. But essentially what it is you spin a single arm's length, and then you park your spindle, and then you create a loop from the get-go, and then you kind of chain ply up from you chain ply the singles that you just spun, and then you spin that chain counterclockwise, or the opposite direction that you were spinning your singles on. And then you wind it onto your cop, and then you hook the loop that you use to chain ply onto the hook, and then you hook your working fiber onto the hook as well, and then you just continue spinning singles and parking and chain plying and then spinning in the opposite direction, and it's really clever. So if I can better describe that and demonstrate that in a separate video tutorial, I will gladly give that a go and let you know. So yeah, that's what I've been working on. So yeah, what else? Okay, that's spinning this week. And as far as Because You Asked, it's been a while since I answered a couple of questions from the Because You Asked thread. Last week I did, but in the first take, and then I had to do a second take of the episode because it didn't record any audio, and I totally forgot to do that segment again. So I apologize, and I believe I went into the thread and answered some by typing. Yeah, but anyway, this week I have two Because You Asks. Wow. Okay. This week I have two questions from the Because You Asked thread. The first is from Shamika Knits. She asks, or says at first, I have bought a self-striping yarn. I am trying to make a toe-up afterthought heel. I'm trying to make toe-up afterthought heel socks and use up every bit of the yarn. My question is, how many yards do you save for the heel? Okay, to answer your question, I've only knit a few pairs of self-striping socks, but in my experience of knitting them, I noticed that each stripe repeat is about, or each stripe is about, give or take 6 yards long. So if it helps, take whatever self-striping yarn that you have and measure it out. But here are the last pair of self-striping socks that I knit. These are Jinx Yarns and her Glitz Base. Mardi Gras, or no, it's Fat Tuesday, which I love. They're a little felted on the bottom because I wore them like once or twice in some rain boots, but they're clean. Don't worry, guys. But yeah, these were cuff down socks with an afterthought heel, as you can see. And I believe these, I don't think I measured the length, but I would say safely about 12 yards of 12 yards of self-striping yarn, because you can see I used two stripes for the heel. And yeah, that's about it. I mean, it depends how deep your heels are. I would, just to be on the safe side, 12 yards or two stripe repeats, maybe half of one. I don't know, but that's my answer. I hope that helps. But yeah, next question from Blonde Catalog. Do you have any Swift and ball winder recommendations? Love your podcast. Thank you. Well, to answer your question, I don't consider myself an aficionado on ball winders or Swifts. I've had the same Swift that Dennis gifted me for Christmas, or was it Christmas or my birthday? I don't know. But 5 years ago, he got me a Swift, and it was like the best gift ever because I went ball winding crazy. And it served me well. I mean, it depends, for Swifts, it does the job for me. For my personal use, it's great. But if you are running a business like me, and you're doing a lot of, and you need a Swift to take a lot of wear and tear, the one that I have, which I don't even know who the make is, get a sturdy one. Do some research. Find one that's meant to take a lot of wear and tear. I'm sure local yarn shops have one that can take a lot of wear and tear since they're constantly winding balls for customers. But I'm sure they make even heavy dutier ones. But I think to answer your question thoroughly, I would definitely check out the Knit More Girls episode 300, because they had a Swift and ball winding tasting where they reviewed pretty much all brands across the board, and they give a full and thorough, excellent review of each and every one of them. So I will post a link to that as well in the show notes. Everything I mentioned in this episode will be in the show notes, guys. So, yeah. But anyway, so definitely check out episode 300 of the Knit More Girls podcast. But as far as other information is concerned, like ball winders, the first ball winder that I got was from Knit Picks. It was cheap, $20. It did the job, but of course, if you're familiar with Knit Picks products, they're not the most reliable. I believe within like a couple months, mine broke. So I crazy glued it. I put it back together until I couldn't take it anymore. And I called them, customer service. They were wonderful. They replaced it, no charge. That one broke. I complained again. They again wonderfully replaced it. But then I think after that, well, I still have it. It has not broken because I invested in a Strotch. Am I pronouncing that right? I don't know. I apologize, but it's my new favorite toy ever. It's not new. I've had it for a while now, but my Strotch ball winder is made to take a lot of wear and tear because I'm constantly winding ball cakes, I should say winding balls and cakes, however you want to say it. It's sturdy. It takes a lot of wear and tear for my business. It's great. If you don't want to worry about, if you're just winding balls or cakes occasionally, fine, invest in a cheaper brand, but it will break eventually, and it's just better. My Strotch was pricey. I'm not going to lie about that. It was an investment, but it was a very good investment, and I know I have to maintain it. I have to oil it and make sure its parts are working once in a while, but for the most part, I love it. So that's my baby right now. yeah, so I hope that helps. And yeah, until post, if you have any questions that you want to ask me related to knitting or spinning or hand dyeing or the podcast or what have you, put it in the Because You Asked Ravelry thread in the YarnGasm group. But yeah, keep them coming. I love answering your questions, guys. Thanks. So, okay. Now is shop update stuff. So if you don't want to hear about it, thanks for stopping by, and I will see you next week. Happy knitting. But yeah, if you would like to see what's happening in the shop, stick around because I got stuff to talk about, like I do. So yeah, okay. As you know, I'm going to be at Gauge and Tension this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. So do stop by. I will have fiber, which I will show you right now because I am debuting a new fiber line, or I will be having fiber in the shop, or my Etsy shop, more often. Because it's fun, guys. Let me see, put that over there. Let's see. So far, I've fell in love with Superwash Merino because it takes color so well. And I apologize for the rustling. I've just been keeping them in little plastic baggies to protect them from the elements. But this is Superwash Merino. I haven't named these yet, and I haven't been coming up with repeatable colorways yet. I've just been having a lot of fun dyeing them. But yeah, this is 100% Superwash Merino. It is so soft. And they're 4 ounces. All these are 4 ounces. So yeah, there's one. And then the other Superwash Merino. I'm dyeing up more today. This is it? Yeah. This is also 100% Superwash Merino. Some navy blues, plums, oranges. Let's see what else. And then I got Polworth, which I really, really love. This one I can actually take out. Yeah. Which is not as soft as Superwash Merino, but it is lovely. It has more grip. You know, if you're a beginner spinner, I highly recommend trying Polworth first because it has a nice medium staple length and it has that extra grip for your finger, so it's not as slippery as Merino. So yeah, there's this colorway. Let's see. And I find the colors come out a little bit more muted on Polworth than they do Merino. I don't know why. I have to research that. But anyway, let me see. There's this one. It's kind of like a purpley gray. Yeah, there's that. Then I'm just gonna put this over here. And then there's this one, which is more kind of like, I think I'm gonna call this one Enjoy the Silence, because it kind of looks like that colorway. Yeah. So I have a lot of fun dyeing these up. Yeah, and I have more that I'm going to be dyeing today. So my day is full. It really is a full-time job. It's like I didn't realize, well, yeah, I did realize like I could do more once I have like all this time and once I had gone full-time, you know, but it really does take the full day to do like dyeing, administrative stuff, packaging, photographing. It's all falling into place, if that makes any sense. Like my schedule, Mondays are, you know, just inventory and, you know, all the business end type of things. And then usually at the end of the day, I'm dyeing whatever I can. And yeah, it's a lot of work. So, which is good. The day flies, which is awesome. So, yay. I don't know. What else? Oh, and I do have, I think I mentioned it last week, I have a new DK base. Did I show this to you? I'm not sure. But it's 100% Superwash Merino. No, I lied. It's Merino Nylon Cashmere. 80% Merino, 20%, no, I'm sorry. 80% Superwash Merino, 10% Cashmere, and 10% Nylon. There we go. But yeah, this is Outlander. I'm pretty sure I showed this to you last week. But yeah, it's just a really lovely, soft, squishy base. I don't know if I can get that to zoom in. It's a little overexposed. I'm finally recording in the morning, which has optimal sunlight. Yay. So yeah, there's that. And this is the Smitten base, if you're curious. Smitten DK. Okay, and then my holiday colorways, which I'm going to be dyeing up a lot more of today, hopefully, and update the shop. By the way, shop update. I'm planning to have a small shop update tomorrow, but because I'm kind of up to my neck in dyeing for the pop up the trunk show, I may hold off on the shop update until Monday, only because I'm just a little inundated right now with dyeing and stuff like that, and I'm not sure it's going to be ready. It's all going to be ready, because I still have some more Christmas colors to dye up, and it's a lot. Anyway, yeah. So FYI, just be wary, or what have you. But yeah, this is my Holly Jolly colorway on my blitzed base, which is just Christmassy blues, Christmassy reds, greens, whites, and then like a wintry bluish green in there. So kind of like icy. I don't know. I just love the color combination. And this is it on my Lush base. So, and it's not self-striping. It's going to have like a stripy, flashy effect, if you will, if you're knitting socks. It's very, very heavily variegated, if you will. So there's that. And then this is Deck the Halls. Again, on Blitzed, which has some sparkle in there. Kind of almost reminds me of like Christmas bark, or what do you call it? Yeah, like chocolate bark, where it has, bits of candy cane in there, white chocolate. I should have named it that. But anyway, Deck the Halls. I was going to call it Wreck the Halls because of all the splattering and speckling, but, it's the holidays. All happy things. So, but yeah, this is it on my squish base, which is 100% superwash merino. I just love, this is my favorite part, like the part with the greens and the reds, or the green and the red meat, I should say. Yay. So there's that. And then what else do I have? Yeah, that is pretty much it. I will have more holiday colorways coming out. I kind of have a dream of dyeing up a Festivus colorway, because Festivus for the rest of us, why not? But yeah, so otherwise, that is pretty much it. But yeah, again, if there's no shop update on Friday, there will be one on Monday. So stay tuned, FYI. And yeah, again, stop by the pop-up shop, trunk show, say hello, and that's it. Yeah, I have nothing more to speak on. Anyway, that's it. Have a great week, everybody, and I will see you next time. Bye.